The right is angry, but the question is why? Why are they angry? Why are they pissed off? Why are they angry? Despite the fact that they are the one that enslaved people, despite the fact that they have power, despite the fact that they have every single thing, why are they still angry? Why are they angry? Despite the fact that they control us, why are they angry? Is a question that a lot of people have started asking recently, but cannot get answered. But in today's video, I actually do some research that at the end of the day, you are going to watch. Please watch from beginning to the end before dropping your comments for me in the comment section so that you can understand every single clips I've been able to match together for you. Because I keep asking myself as well, why are they angry? If there is anybody that is supposed to be angry, we are supposed to be angry. People of my color are supposed to be angry. People that look like me are supposed to be angry. But despite the fact that you have every single thing, you are still angry. Why? Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you so much for always coming to support me. I really appreciate you, and I do not take you guys for granted. From the depth of my heart, I am grateful. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitch we have in our today's episode. And guys, support their channel, okay? Anyways, with that being said, just for educational purposes, we are not fighting, we are not bashing anybody. Just for educational purposes, I'll roll out the clip and I'll come back with commentaries. Let me know what you think in the comment section after watching.
The right is angry. They're always angry. They've been angry since anyone can remember. They were angry when the Union won the Civil War and they had to give up their slaves. They were angry when Reconstruction gave their former slaves the right to vote. They were angry when black soldiers came home from World War I and World War II and insisted on being treated with dignity, having fought for their country. They were angry about jazz music becoming more popular, and then about rock and roll. They were angry when black children tried to integrate schools. The whole history of the American right, whether they call themselves Democrats, Dixiecrats, or Republicans, is a history of rage. And even having, quote, taken back their country, unquote, by putting Donald Trump back in the White House and unleashing Project 2025 on all of us, deleting affirmative action, DEI, black history, black scholarships, black held jobs in the federal government, having driven women out of the military leadership and ended everything from farm subsidies to foreign aid, while getting away with an actual insurrection scot-free. They're somehow still angry. And because Q and I work in this space, and I'll speak for you, Q, we know that this is an exceptionally short list of things that these people find a way to be outraged about. Somehow everything is attack on them. Everything is an attack on their values. Somehow everything is an attack on their fiscal interests. Somehow doing anything that helps anybody that's not them is too much. But, you know, bailing out corporations and all this sort of stuff. Hey, we have to remain what it's so strange how the justifications for the moves that they're made are often fueled by anger. And I think that for a long time, I kind of suspected that it was true. Then I started to kind of work in this space and see that it was true consistently. And now to see Joy kind of put it on full display, like, okay, here we are on the other side of Trump's election, on the other side of the better half of Project 2025. And these folks are like, it's Civil War time. They're calling in bomb threats to HBCUs. On and on and on. Just angry. It's kind of a moment where, I think a sobering moment where we recognize that there may not be, I should say, I don't want to speak in absolutes because these are people and these are our countrymen, for better or worse, but there may not be a version of reality for folks on the right and the far right that really feels like happiness. It just is something that is constantly elusive to them because they've already won in the biggest possible way, and yet and still, you know, and I know what you're going to say, so that's why I'm leaving it open-ended right that, and yet and still they find a way to be angry.
Why are y'all so angry? You have the White House. You have both houses of Congress. You have a Supreme Court that is completely obedient to your president. They're willing to give him unlimited power. They're willing to say that he can take SEAL Team 6 and kill anybody he wants. They were willing to affirm that. They're willing to say that ICE can racially profile anybody they want. The United States Supreme Court has said you can racially profile Latinos based on their accent or the way they look. You guys have everything you want. You have legal racial profiling. You've ended DEI. You've ended affirmative action. You get all the best jobs, even if you're not qualified. You can be a Fox Weekend host and be the Defense Department's Secretary of Defense. You can be Kash Patel and be a podcaster who wants to go to Valhalla and run the FBI, as long as you're conservative. You have everything. Why are y'all so angry? What the fuck are you angry about? You've banned all of our books. You've banned Black history. You banned the 1619 Project. You don't have to compete with women for jobs. You've chased them out of the military. You've chased them out of the senior positions in the Department of Defense. You've gotten rid of all the Black history in the museums. Museums are terrified. I have contacts that I'm talking to inside of the Interior Department, people who are running all of those spaces where you can go and see a Civil War memorial or something. The people who work in these places are terrified. They're afraid to tell the real history. The people who are working for the federal government are afraid to say the word Black. You guys have canceled Black scholarships. You're damn near, I guess, ready to get rid of HBCUs. Donald Trump just recently said they're not going to fund any minority serving institution. Y'all have gotten rid of that. You've gotten rid of help for Black kids to go to college. What more do you want? What are you so angry about? I go every so often, I go and lurk and look on X Twitter. Y'all are the maddest people ever. Y'all are so angry for people who have everything. Y'all said you want your country back. You have it. The rest of us are sitting back and trying to keep our peace and preserve our peace while you all are running the country. If the airlines are crashing, that's you. That's the people you wanted to run the United States government. The FBI, y'all are laughing at them on X Twitter and saying that they look ridiculous. That's your FBI. They've purged the people who made the FBI what it was. It's not what you wanted. You have your podcasters running the FBI. You have your friend from the real world running the Department of Transportation. That's what you wanted. There's no longer a gay guy there. The gay guy's gone. The gay guy's at home with his kid and his husband. He's not in charge anymore. The Department of Justice is what you wanted. It's your Justice Department that won't release the Epstein files. If you're mad about the Epstein files, you shouldn't be mad at me and the left. You need to be mad at Donald Trump. You all have the country. You run every red state like it's already Project 2025. You won't let women have abortions in Texas. They're literally dying of sepsis. That's what you wanted. You wanted women to have only 6 weeks to get an abortion in Georgia. You got it. You wanted Texas to be a petri dish and a laboratory for every right-wing, anti-Black, anti-gay, anti-trans idea. And you also got rid of vaccines. Every child in Florida is now going to go to school with kids who could give them measles, mumps, and rubella and COVID. That's what y'all wanted. You now have a paradise in Florida where you can get sick, cough on people, let them die of whatever disease you're carrying. It's almost like you've got the pilgrims again that can come and cough on all the natives and take them out. That's what you wanted. You got it. You wanted Florida to be that. It's that. You wanted the United States to be Florida. It's that. But yet you all are still so angry. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't understand it. I don't mean to rant and rave, but I am genuinely trying to get to the bottom of what you all are so angry about. And I think I have a suspicion and I have a guess. What you all are angry about is that while you have gotten everything you wanted on the right, we on the other side won't give you love for it. We won't respect you for it. We won't hail you for it. We won't respect you and say, hey, we want to, have you at the Oscars. We want to fet you. We want to make you guys, we want to wrap our arms around you. You want us to embrace you. You don't just want to run us and tell us what to do and tell us what to think and tell us what to read and tell us what history we can have. You don't just want to tell us what to do. You want us to embrace you. What you really want is to sit at our table. You're mad because while you are running the country into the ground, you're destroying your own farmers with tariffs. You're destroying your own farmers by taking away their subsidies that used to go with USAID. You got what you wanted. They've ended the farm subsidies. These are the things y'all asked for. You got your big, beautiful budget. That's what you wanted. Trump gave it right to you. You got your permanent tax cut. You're still pissed because the left, the other side, the majority, we still cannot stand you. We cannot stand Christian nationalism. We don't want it. And because we will not say we want your Christian nationalism, we embrace your Christian nationalism. We like your Christian nationalism. We like you. Because we won't do that, that's why you're still mad. But guess what we're going to keep on doing? we're going to keep on being moisturized and unbothered, and we still not going to like it. We're never going to like Christian nationalism. We're never going to accept it. We're never going to be down with it. And our squad is bigger than your squad at the end of the day. We have the Boricuas. We got the Mexican Americans. They done woke up. They said, whoo, Lord, let's go ahead and go with these folks. We got the spicy whites. The spicy white folk are with us. They're with us. Right? We got the Asian Americans who woken up and said, whoa, we better be with them. Right? Chinese Americans, they see you. Japanese Americans are like, you're going to do internment again? We see you.
South Koreans
like, oh, we see you. Y'all gonna kick the South Koreans out. Now you're gonna cry because Georgia's gonna have a worse economy because you're not gonna get to have the South Koreans teaching y'all to have those high-tech jobs. The South Koreans are like, oh well, sure hate it. Africa's like, we're just gonna do business with each other. We got BRICS. We don't need y'all. Tourists are like, we don't need y'all. The African Americans, the Caribbean Americans are getting together and said, yo, why are we fighting each other? Caribbean Americans are like, yo, we were y'all. We invented hip hop together. Let's go off. And you're mad at us because we do not want to be with you. This America you want, that's yours, y'all. You keep it. We don't want it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some data for folks that feel like they need to push back. Maybe you use this clip. Maybe you use these talking points. Either way, if you end up in those circles talking to these people who are like, yeah, the left is so radical, miss me with that. The right is super radical, and Donald Trump is leading the charge. So this comes from cato.org. From folks that are not familiar, I'll introduce you to cato.org. For more than 40 years, this is from their website, by the way, for more than 40 years, Cato has led the charge for liberty in our nation and around the world. The Cato Institute is an assiduously nonpartisan and independent public policy research organization, or a think tank, that creates a presence for and promotes libertarian ideas and policy debates. Okay, so that's cato.org. You're welcome to look this up on your own. These are not the words of Ramses and Q. This is from an organization that tracks this stuff. Okay. Here we go. A total of 3,599 people have been murdered in politically motivated terrorist attacks in the United States from January 1, 1975 through September 10, 2025. Murders committed in terrorist attacks account for about 0.35% of all murders since 1975. Only 81 happened since 2020, accounting for 0.07% of all murders during that time, or 7 out of 10,000. Terrorism is the broadest reasonable definition of a politically motivated murder because it is the threatened or actual use of illegal force and violence by a non-state actor to attain political, economic, religious, or social goals through coercion, fear, or intimidation. That excludes individual hate crimes, which are frequently difficult to distinguish from terrorism, but are often more personal and spontaneous. 83% of those murdered since 1975 were killed by the 9/11 terrorists. And there's a chart, figure 1, okay? So that's 83% of the almost 3,600 right there, okay? 9/11. The Oklahoma City bombing accounts for about another 5%. Those murdered since 2020 account for just 2%. Terrorists inspired by Islamic ideology are responsible for 87% of those murdered in attacks on U.S. soil since 1975. And I want to be very responsible when I say that, okay? Because the Islamic terrorists that are responsible for those attacks are not representatives of Islam, the faith that more than 1 billion people on this planet practice. Islam is a faith of peace. It's like if people were to say Christianity is a faith of peace, but you took the KKK's version of Christianity to paint all Christians. That's not what we're doing with this data, okay? But this is call it an extreme right version of Islamic attacks. Okay, I'll continue. Since 1975. Okay. Right-wingers are the second most common motivating ideology, accounting for 391 murders and 11% of the total. The definition here of right-wing terrorists include those motivated by white supremacy, anti-abortion beliefs, involuntary celibacy or incels, and other right-wing ideologies. Okay? Now again, 11% of the total. right wing. Left wing terrorists murdered 65 people, or about 2% of the total. Okay, so we're going from 11% right wing, 2% left wing. Okay.
Hey, y'all. So the very brilliant and highly intelligent and educated Joy Reid asked the perfect question. Why is MAGA so mad when they already have everything that they want? Sis, you are absolutely right for asking that very question. I was thinking the same thing, because we do.
Donald Trump says, smart people don't like me. Yeah, you're going to have to hear it, so I may as well get this video ready. This is from the Black Information Network. President Donald Trump has social media buzzing after openly admitting, quote, smart people don't like me. Trump made the comment while speaking at a private gala at his Bedminster Golf Club on Saturday, September 13th. Quote, smart people don't like me, you know, and they don't like what we talk about, unquote. Trump said, garnering laughter from the crowd. A video of Trump's remark was shared by Republican strategist Nicole Kipralov and amplified by the account Patriot Takes. Several social media users called out Trump for openly insulting his supporters. Give me a quick tick. You're going to hear this in the man's own words. Hang on. Here you go.
Smart people don't like me, you know, and they don't like what we talk about.
That's him. That's the president of the United States. All right. So, you know, that is true in my belief. Well, I've seen a lot of other people have takes on that, and they all think it's true as well. But, you know, we're not going to deal with individual accounts. We like data on this show. So I visited pewresearch.org. So let's find out what pewresearch.org has found out about educated folks and Donald Trump. All right, this is from their website. As has been the pattern through several elections, voters were sharply divided in 2024 by whether they have a college degree. Voters with a four-year degree or more education, who constitute about 40% of all voters, favored Harris by a double-digit margin, 16 percentage points, while those without a college degree favored Trump by nearly as much, 14 points. Voters with postgraduate degrees remained a strong Democratic group. Voters with postgraduate degrees favored Harris by roughly 2-1, 65% to 33%, which is similar to Biden's and Clinton's advantages in the past two elections. Harris led more narrowly among those with no more than a four-year degree, while Trump won by a large margin among those with less formal education. Educational differences among white and Hispanic voters, but not black voters. White non-college voters were about 20 points more likely to support Trump than those with a four-year degree. That is similar to the difference of 4 years ago. Non-college Hispanic voters were also more likely to back Trump than Hispanic voters with college degrees, but the gap was smaller than among white voters. There were no meaningful educational differences among black voters. I suspect that that is because so many black people, men included, voted for Kamala Harris. So in brief, there's people that, first off, I know people that are like, well, education is indoctrination. No. Education is education. Okay. Are there individual teachers that perhaps have a political agenda? Sure. But to suggest that every single form of higher education across the United States, except for PragerU, is indoctrinating people, I think that you're facing the reality of the situation, not just in this country, but around the world. You're facing the reality of the situation and you can't accept it. So you're imagining something that is impossible. Think about it. Every higher institution of higher learning is indoctrinating people. Think about that. How realistic is that versus you've been lied to? And, you know, the truth is that less educated people are less educated, less empathetic. They have less of a frame of reference. I'm somebody, and this is not bragging, but I'm somebody with a master's degree. I'm somebody who has traveled the world. Shoot, if you want to come for me, I'm somebody who's traveled all 50 of the U.S. states. Okay? So I have additional perspective that I can incorporate into my belief system. If you and I both have some fundamental truths that we affirm are valid, life is precious, division is bad, etc., then it stands to reason that I have more connective tissue, more of a frame of reference to draw from to identify positive things toward the outcomes that I believe are, positive for all people. And I'm less susceptible to, baseless accusations, mischaracterizations, or misrepresentations of facts. And like simply speaking, evil. I can spot it easier than other people can. I'm less likely to be manipulated. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but, and this is the truth of people who are educated. Trump, in his own words, smart people don't like me. He didn't say, and the thing is, if that is your argument, that education is, and I know I spent a lot of time on this one part, but if that is your argument that education indoctrinates people, he said smart people, not educated people. Smart people don't like me. Again, I could play the audio for you, but it was him. You know what he said. That's that.
Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Why are they still angry? Despite the fact that they have everything. Why are they still angry? Despite the fact that they are controlling us. Why are they still angry? Despite the fact that they have literally made the system look seamlessly to be in their favor. Why are they still angry? Most of these questions, when you attempt to ask sometime, then you should know that when the right is angry, the left becomes more powerful. That is one thing you should know. These people has literally seen that despite every single thing that they've been doing to people that look like me, still, instead of giving up, instead of crying, instead of mourning, instead of looking like the situation that you are meant to look like, instead of looking like your troubles, instead of looking like your predicament, instead of looking like your sorrows, instead of looking angry, looking weird, and start committing all the crimes, all the unforeseen crimes, so that they can still rub it more on you, you have choose to maintain peace with steez. You have choose to maintain peace with all men. You have choose to maintain peace with your community. You have choose to maintain peace with even the palm-colored people, despite the fact that it is hard for you to maintain peace. But just to the glory of God and just to keep your name safe, you have choose to be calm. Why won't they be angry? Why won't they be angry? That is why they are angry. That is why they are furious. That is why no matter what happened, when you see a particular small crime happen, they are looking for what? Is it the left? Are they the one that actually did it? Are they the one that actually did it? But at the end of the day, they find out that you're not the one that is doing the crimes. At the end of the day, they find out that you're not the one that did it. It is still their own person. It is still their own hand. It is still their own right that is doing it. Why do you think they will be angry? If a man can stand on a stage and say he has been praying for over 33 good hours, that Father Lord, may this person not come from us. Father Lord, may this person not be one of us. May this person be left. May this person be in Nigeria. May this person be in South Africa. May this person be this. May this person be that. And at the end of the day, they find out that it is not only their own, it is their own blood, born and bred in their own city, with their own hand. And you think they are not going to be angry? You think they are always going to come here and clap for you, no matter how successful, no matter how good you are? You think they're not going to be tearing up every single day? You think they're not going to be like biting their fingers, clashing their teeth over the fact that We wanted to use one stone and hold them. Now, instead of holding them, we are holding our own in custody. Instead of holding them, we are holding our own. And God will keep vindicating us. God will keep doing what no man can do. God will keep showing up. God will keep performing that which He knows how to do best. That is my single prayer for today. That is my single prayer for today. And I want to charge every single one of you that look like me that please, no matter where you are, maintain peace. No matter the circumstances, no matter the problem, no matter the narrative, keep maintaining peace. Keep pushing out peace. But listen, whenever you're sleeping, one eye is closed, one eye open. It is very, very important. Anyways, if you have not subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and share. We do not support any form of violence. This is just for educational purposes. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And guys, yes, with no further ado, I'm going to say bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. And I'll say bye for now. I love you guys. Be at peace with yourself. They'll keep getting angry.